Rick Remender is one of the hottest writers working in comics today. Let me share with you my favorite books he's written. Hello and welcome back to John's Comics with Kids and another one of my discussions around artists and creators, specifically artists and creators doing a lot of great work in independent comics. Today, I wanted to talk about Rick Remender. He is a writer that I've gotten into over the last handful of years that I've kind of discovered. I don't know if I missed when he was doing a lot of stuff at Marvel, especially. I know he would did Captain America and things like that, Uncanny Avengers. For me, I discovered him very late, and as a result, kind of went backwards, and then have had the great opportunity to find a lot of his great stories. So, if you haven't heard of Rick Remender, buckle up. You're going to add to your reading list today. If you are a Rick Remender fan, this is a great chance for you to either let me know where I'm wrong, what did I miss, or let me know which ones are right and which ones you would recommend as well. I have to start with his biggest one, which is Deadly Class. This is a great series. There are four really wonderful Image hardcovers to collect this run. It's really exciting, really intense. I never watched the television show, and again, I just came to this late. I finished it finally last year and just had a whole lot of fun with it. Art style by Wes Craig is so wonderful. I've done a couple of live streams where I've mentioned how much I've enjoyed Deadly Class, and I just think it's one of those that gets its hooks in you and has a lot to say and very exciting. This, of course, covers a school for assassins, but some of the interrelationships between the students and their families and their backstories, that's where it really cooks. And this is a great series. I also, 2 years ago, finally got an omnibus for and read his Uncanny X Force. I'm a mutant guy. I'm an X-Men fan. So this was a book that I had kept hearing time and again. John, you have to read Uncanny X Force. This is one of the best ever. And I'll tell you what kept me away, and it might be what keeps you away, is this squad. I'm not an Angel fan, not a Psylocke fan. I'm not a Deadpool fan. I didn't really know much about Phantom X. That's the guy who kind of looks like a G.I. Joe reject there in the white. And then Wolverine is a character that I enjoy, but I enjoy in a certain amount of doses. Like I don't want to overdose on. He tends to be in every book, and that's when I tend to check out. So for me, you show me this lineup, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to read this comic. What I will say to dissuade you of that thinking is that Remender does a phenomenal job balancing these characters and making you interested in these characters. It's a fantastic book. I really can't recommend it enough, and I regret how long I waited to read it. So definitely worth taking the time and checking that out. And then number three on my list, it's Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. This has its own single hardcover from Image, and it's just amazing. If you like crime noir, if you have a Coen Brothers side to your personality, I think this is a book that would click a lot of buttons for you. I really was entertained by this. It didn't go where I thought it was going to go. It had scenes that were very calm and relaxing and kind of peaceful, mixed with sequences that were incredibly violent and full of twists and turns. And I really was impressed by how well this managed to carry all these different tools at the same time. So, yeah, one volume, one storyline, one arc, but I think really beautifully handled. Next, we'll go with a book that is ongoing right now, a continuing series that he has been doing that I've really loved. It's the fantasy adventure series, The Sacrificers. And the artwork, again, for this book is stunning. I don't think we've had a miss on this list so far. I really do love this series. It took a little bit of a break, and it's back right now. You can get the trade paperbacks for the first, I think, two arcs. Really entertaining. This has to do with an unusual fantasy world where there is the haves and have-nots, and the sort of gods at the top are represented by sun and moon and these sorts of things, and they need the sacrifices of the citizens, the non-god-like characters living down below. And when one of those royals and one of those peasants meet, there's a journey of getting to know one another that sort of takes place. And it's been a very entertaining ride, and I think we'll make a wonderful collected edition when it's all kind of said and done. Hopefully, that it's not an ongoing forever. I also want to mention a book that is wrapping very soon that was on a lot of people's best of for the year, and that's Grommets. The final issue for this series is coming up here soon. If it dropped and I missed it, I'm a little disappointed because I'm usually on top of those things. But this has been a very entertaining look at skateboard culture in Southern Central California in that 80s range, which was always in and around me growing up. This could be very much like my life story, but it is also incredibly relatable. And it does not necessarily have to just be for people that skateboarded or people that were interested in, a certain time and place in history. Instead, it's really human. The way that it looks at childhood and, hormones developing and people's first abilities to talk to people of the other gender or people that they're attracted to. I think it balances a lot of these things. Bullying is a big topic in it as well. And it was just a really gripping, entertaining read. If you missed Grommets, absolutely worth the time. He has a new series I wanted to mention that I've really enjoyed. It's had 2 issues so far called The Seasons. And this is another one that feels like could be a really great collected edition when it's all said and done. There are 2 issues in, so this is one you could probably find at your LCS and grab those first 2 if you wanted to check it out. Seems to be about 4 sisters, each one of named after a different season, and a devious sort of carnival come to town to try to attack them, kidnap them, use them for some device. And that's where this creepy woman with the the clown face and the eyes comes into play. Although I don't know if it's gender, it actually is a man or a woman, but it seems to be leading the carnival. So there's a little bit of horror to it, but it's mostly like a mystery that's being waited to be solved. And I really enjoyed that. Lastly, I'm going to mention one that I don't like. I did not care for Scumbag at all. I know this book had a lot of people in stitches and laughing, and maybe I just need to give it another shot. I read the first, I think, 2 issues, and I just found it gross. I just found it it's the rare misfire when it comes to Rick Remender. I just could not get into this. Let me know if you had read this book and really loved it, and maybe I'm the only one that just couldn't take it, couldn't handle it. But that was one that was the rare misfire. So that one that I'm not recommending. Obviously, somebody like Remender has a huge list of books that you can check out. I've heard of, Black Science. I've heard of Low, and I've heard of Fear Agent. Those are just to name a few. I think Seven to Eternity is one that I've read one volume of. I didn't love it, but I really enjoyed it, and I have yet to read the other follow-ups. But let me know, are there any that I missed? Are there any that you would recommend as a Rick Remender fan? And are there any other writers or artists you want me to do for this kind of thing? Because I'm always thinking of fun ways to kind of go through my collection and talk about the things that I'm really enjoying. Shout out to my channel members. You can go ahead and hit that join button if you want to be like people like Rob and Sarah here on the new Comic Book Day Coalition, or join the X-Men squad. It's so full I can barely fit it on one slide, and I think I've actually got to update it because I had a few that added over the weekend. Also, my New Mutants people. I just appreciate all the people that are willing to spend time, hit that like button, join and watch. I appreciate anybody's willingness to interact with the channel and make a difference for me. So I really appreciate all of you guys. Thanks everybody for coming by, and I will catch you all again soon.